Who likes spicy? Who likes spicy? Cooking with Q? Yes. We love, baby. Hi, welcome to Cooking with Q. I'm Q, and thanks for stopping by my kitchen. Okay, family, today we are talking about kale. These are going to be some Q-tips I'm going to give to you guys. We're going to go over some of the benefits of kale, and then we're also going to go over some recipes that can like jazz it up, because we know when everybody hears the word kale, they lose it. Okay, so now I want to make sure I give you guys some of the benefits. We all know the first benefit, the number one reason people eat kale. People who are dieting, people who are trying to eat healthy, people who are trying to have, a healthy life change. They eat kale because it's low in calorie and you can get full. Let's be honest. You can't have potatoes all the time. So kale makes everybody happy. Number two, friends, the reason you eat kale is because it has more iron than beef. I know to some of you that is going to sound awkward. It is going to sound strange. It is true. And when you hear people talk about, you can't get no iron from... More iron than beef. Facts. I'm just speaking facts. And another benefit that I want to give to you guys is kale is an anti-inflammatory veggie. So I'm talking if you have issues with arthritis, autoimmune diseases, or even asthma, kale is something that will help suppress it. So when I say these are things that you might need to start introducing into your diet, sometimes you have to do it. I tell you guys all the time we eat to live, and this is a prime example of it. Lastly, I want to tell you guys is you don't have to just eat kale as kale. I got a few different recipes that I want to show you guys. We got kale with like mushrooms, kale with mushrooms, tomatoes, fresh garlic. Nice recipes that are filling and they're very flavorful. So don't think just because when you eat kale, it has to be a salad. Kale is not just all about a salad. I'm going to show you guys. We got kale chips. We got a little kale medley. And I'm going to throw kale on a sandwich. Okay guys, so I wanted to make sure I showed you guys when I get my kale, it looks just like this. I know it scares you at the grocery store, but it's kale. Now what we're going to do is break it off of its stalk so we can start getting this ready for some of the recipes that we're going to cook. So I want to show you guys. I don't make a big deal out of it. I just break it probably as small as I want to see it. And I go down the stem. I do. If I want them smaller, then I'll break them in two. But I literally go down, like that's a big one, so I want to break that one a couple times. But do you see what I'm doing? Like literally, and I know it looks like a whole lot now, but once kale is done, it boils down to nothing. Like you can saute this thing, it goes to nothing. So now look at that, empty. But I didn't put the stalk in there. Okay everybody, so what I'm going to do is we're going to make this little kale medley nice and easy. This is not overly complicated. We already crushed up our kale, so the first thing I want to do is make sure this pan is oiled because we're going to saute it, right? I am about to add some extra virgin olive oil in it. Super nice. I like to baste my pan with it. Right? Not too much. Yes, that's a free pour. No, I'm not going to tell you how much olive oil to use because you may love olive oil. You may not like olive oil at all. I just want to make sure that the pan is coated. So by the time I put this kale in here, it has something to, heat up against. I'm going to have my fire on low. I like fire. No biggie, but I like fire. Once this is warm enough, which right now I feel like it is, I'm going to take our kale, dump it in there. And mind you, this looks like a lot of kale. It does. But when this is done, like sauteing and cooking, like literally, this is nothing. Me and my husband, maybe. Seriously. Now, I let the kale simmer for a second. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil on top so that it can, you know, do what it do. A little bit. Just a little sprinkle. If you really want some type of a measurement, I'm going to say like 2 tablespoons. Our next ingredient is mushrooms. Portobello mushrooms are amazing. They're thicker. They're just like, I cut them a little bit thick just because it's like a, I don't want to say a meat replacement, but it kind of does. It's like making it hearty for you so you're not just eating freaking kale. You know what I mean? Now we're going to have these going for a little bit. And while those are literally sauteing in here, we are going to add a couple things. I'm going to use some, of course, ground pepper. We'll ground it up ourselves. We're going to use some Himalayan salt. And then on top of that, we'll use some of my, you know, homemade steak seasoning. It's more peppery type of a taste that we'll add. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, of course, grab my pepper mill. Listen, if you guys don't have a doggone Kale Mason pepper mill, you don't know what you're missing. It is bae. It has 6 settings for you to grind your pepper. Like, are you serious? Here's our salt. Himalayan. Yes, same thing. Kale Mason. 3 levels, 3 degrees of that grinding, baby. 3 degrees. So now we're going to add in our tomatoes. I have them diced. I don't have them too tiny because, like I said, I want it to be hearty. So I want you to know there are tomatoes there. I want you to know there are mushrooms there. Look at that. You're going to look at that. That looks amazing. Like, seriously, come on. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. And while I let it sit, it's literally, this is going to have so much flavor, you're not even going to understand it. Just get ready. And like I said, I know everybody's scared of kale. When you start talking about we're going to eat kale, like, there are some really, really nice ways for you to eat kale. And it tastes good. Look at that. That's a gorgeous meal. You don't see positivity in that? Come on, people. We're eating to live here, okay? Now, I want you guys to see this. It is very, very peppery, but it goes good with your kale. I use about 3 little spoons of this. And you know me? Maybe I'll put this on the market one day. You never know. Last thing I'm going to do, guys, is I want to add some fresh garlic. I like fresh mixed garlic. I will usually use a couple cloves. So we're going to do this. And look at that. That's so good. Look at that. That's great. We'll get that. I got one more. Look at that. It's ridiculous. This kale is gonna be amazing. But this is just an all-around nice recipe. I can eat this right now. Like, literally, I'm starving. And now, look at that. It's happy. It's not too done. And now, guess what we can do? Plate it. And I'm going to tell you guys something that is my truth. I love hot sauce. I'm obsessed with all types of hot sauce. So I'm about to put some sriracha on this and go to work. Yes. Alright guys, this recipe is ridiculous. I hope you guys tried it, made it, and when you taste it, you love it. When you make the recipe, tag me in it. You know how to find me. It's hashtag cooking with Q, and that's QUE. That's me. You all know where these recipes are located on the website, www.cookingwithq.com. And again, until next time, may your taste buds be forever satisfied. Bye. Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay.